Manny Pacquiao has a dilemma. Top Rank Boxing has a dilemma. And HBO has a big dilemma. Let's start with Manny Pacquiao. There has to be one reason, and one reason Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao decided to, I don't think he officially retired, but pseudo-retired. But there has to be one reason he's back. And that one reason, I assume, would be May 2017. He came back for redemption and a second fight with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Let's talk about Top Rank. Their dilemma is that they are Bob Arum, the Bob father, as we call him, on the East Coast at least. If Bob Arum puts Terence Bud Crawford, who's the next star in line at Top Rank, if he puts him in with Manny Pacquiao and Crawford loses after winning the biggest fight of his career, see, it's happening a little too quickly. But if he loses after winning the biggest fight in his career, then you know what other young fighters will say? Well, he lost. I don't have to fight him. He got a loss. I'm looking for bigger and better things. On the flip side, if Manny Pacquiao loses, then he throws away pretty much his shot at redemption and a rematch. And listen, the Bob father knows all of this. That's the one reason Manny's coming back. Arum has been in the business longer than most people who cover the sport have lived on this earth. Bob has been in there for 50 plus years. And he hasn't been in the game for 50 plus years as a dummy. I look for Bob Arum to put Jessie Vargas in there or someone else. And that way he protects his two investments. One that's going out the door, who has, I think, one or two more fights with Arum. And he protects the next in line. Because it's a bad, if either one of those guys lose to each other, it's just bad for the sport of boxing, the way boxing is these days. Back in the day, it wouldn't have mattered, but in this case, I don't expect to see Pacquiao versus Crawford. In November. Not to say it won't happen, but just from a economic standpoint, if Manny fights Vargas, for example, which I think makes for a much more action-packed fight, and then he calls out Floyd Mayweather for a rematch in May or what have you, and Floyd doesn't bite, then maybe you'll see Manny versus Vargas in April 2017 or what have you. But I think there have been some things as part of the so-called agreement between Heyman, Arum, and Top Rank and what have you. I think that maybe a rematch kind of sealed the deal. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Let's move on to HBO, because HBO has a big dilemma. Big dilemma. Manny Pacquiao, his fight got pushed back from October to November 5th. So Manny will fight whoever on November 5th, and it's a pay-per-view. Keywords there, pay-per-view. So to watch it in high definition, what is it going to be? $70, $75? Who knows? Let's say it's $75. Okay, so that's November 5th. 2 weeks later, only 2 weeks later, Sergey Kovalev versus Andre Ward is supposed to take place. So what's that, another $75 2 weeks later? I mean, can you imagine what people's cable bills are going to be? I think something's got to give. Andre Ward, maybe he'll get one of his injuries and say, hey, I can't fight on the 19th. Maybe if it's Manny versus Vargas, they work some kind of pay thing where, who knows, maybe it moves to regular HBO. I mean, it's unlikely, but because they're like, well, people want to see Manny come back anyway, so they're going to buy this fight. And then I can see Lady Duva. I can see main events, Kathy Duva saying, well, I think that the Kovalev versus Ward fight is much better, a much better fight, and I think it's a fight people have been waiting for and that they want to see. So don't spend your money on Manny. Just watch that a week later when it's on regular HBO, the replay. So there's dilemmas. There are dilemmas all over the place. You know, the Pacquiao, who's it going to be? Crawford. If it's Crawford, I mean, winner take all, loser. I don't know. While Crawford is young, and if he loses, there are pluses with him losing because first of all, it's a learning experience. He fought a guy who's going to go down as a first ballot Hall of Famer who's won titles in 10 different weight classes or what have you. So it's a learning experience. Crawford's still young. He'll be back. However, the way the landscape is in boxing these days, a loss it's just going to hurt his marketability. Not that the marketability is great at this time. I mean, rumor has it that his pay-per-view with Victor Postal did about somewhere between 50 and 80,000 buys, which is terrible. All the people that wanted to criticize Gennady Golovkin versus David Lemieux, at least he did closer to 200,000. I don't think Crawford Postal, which shocked me. I thought it would at least get to 100 something, but not to say that it won't. This is just early talk. We'll see when the official numbers are released, if they ever get released. So there's the dilemma there with Manny, the dilemma with Crawford, the dilemma with Top Rank, the dilemma with the Godfather and whatever decision he makes, and HBO. You know, what do you do? What do you do? Somebody's going to take a hit. I think fans are going to maybe make a choice on what fight to pick. And I don't know. It'll be interesting to see the numbers for both Manny Pacquiao's return and the Kovalev versus Ward. So let us know what you think. Give us a like. Definitely give us a subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at The Fight Journal. We really want your subscription. We're not asking for any donations. We want your subscription, which is free. We want you to follow us on Twitter, which is free. And go to thefightjournal.com, and at the top on the left side, you'll see a little box that says follow this blog via email. If you type your email in the box and send it, all of our videos and our articles and our everything related to any video that we post or any article that we do, story that we do, it'll go automatically to your email. So you won't even have to look for us, because we'll be right there, front and center. Also, any hip hop fans that like, especially West Coast rap, that like Daz, Tupac, Eazy-E, Snoop Dogg, so on and so forth, Corrupt. Follow DPG, as in Dog Pound Gangsters, DPG Uncut TV. Give them a follow. Not only on Twitter, but subscribe to their page. They got some good stuff coming up. Stuff Suge Knight, Tupac, who's gonna be hot very soon when the movie comes out. They got some easy stuff coming up. Just stories that you've never heard, that you've never heard anywhere else from people who've actually been a part of that. So check them out. And until then, we see you on the next one.